Hello, this is Super Genesis 534 here for you viewers, pointing at the camera. And I'm here just so I can get this fat stack of cartridges for my NES, Super Nintendo, and Sega Genesis. And I have a neat little accessory over here. So for future reviews, you can just list out games from here and I'll go ahead and play them. Some I haven't played and some are just so insanely difficult that I'm going to have to review against another person. So, yeah. Just a second. Tasty. First, I'm going to go through the NES stack. I don't have as many as I would my Super Nintendo or Sega Genesis, which is awesome. I have Life Force, Kung Fu, Simon's Quest, Rambo, and Praise, Mario and Duck Hunt. But I do not currently have a zapper working. The one I got broke. And I'm going to go ahead and get this accessory done. I have, for future reviews, a Game Boy player for old school Game Boys. The Super Game Boy for my Super Nintendo. Super. Yeah. I have Balloon Kid and Operation C so far. I'm just starting out the Game Boy collection of the old school games. But I also have Pokemon Yellow. That's an option. So I'm going to go ahead and get these two out of the way. I have two separate versions of the same game for different consoles. I have Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Street Fighter Ultimate Champions. So, I probably would review the Sega game, just because I'm more in the Sega systems. Let's go ahead and get the Super Nintendo done. You saw Street Fighter 2 Turbo. I have Gradius 3, Jurassic Park 1, and Jurassic Park 2. Super Mario All-Stars, and NBA Showdown, which I applaudly hate. But I got this little neat one still in the box. It's not new, it's cool. I got Killer Instinct, but it doesn't come with the CD, boohoo. And I always thought these old school packagings were pretty cool. A lot of excess cardboard, but a black Super Nintendo cartridge. That's freaking awesome. Comes with a neat little poster. There's a warranty on here, but I'm sure that's already out. And if you can see, the books are full of these awesome pictures. It's so colorful, so detailed. It's much better than today's manuals, I must say. Like, here's your character moves. You don't have to pause the game to do it. You can just look it up before you turn it on. Pretty cool. So, that's Super Nintendo games. So, let me get down to my favorite. The Sega Genesis. Oop, I just dropped my Sega Genesis controller over here. Yeah. Okay. Alright, I'm just going to leave the controller there. I'm just going to get this one. Alright. I have X-Men, Sonic Spinball, Streets of Rage is what I'm currently reviewing. I'm having a few come in the mail, Streets of Rage 3, and I might be having a few extra games, but I also have the Knuckles and Sonic cartridge and top loader. Keep that there because I'm about to bring that in a second. And, in the box, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, not for resale. Not for resale. That must be an exclusive title. And a lot of people think this is a pretty weird shaped Genesis game of mine, but I always tell them it's not only a game. Alright, say you have Sonic and Knuckles, Sonic 2. These are two games. No. Put it on top. Sonic and Knuckles, or Knuckles in Sonic the Hedgehog 2. It would work for 1 through 3. Because I tried it on Sonic Spinball, you don't get Knuckles Spinball, which would be pretty cool. And basically, this was meant for Sonic the Hedgehog 3, because Sonic the Hedgehog 3, this is what I was told, I'm not too sure, it was rushed and wasn't produced as good as Sonic the Hedgehog 1 and 2. So it was pretty much an incomplete game. So when you popped Sonic 3 in here, you got the full game. And you also got Knuckles for any of your other Sonic Genesis games. And you would be able to play the game a lot easier because he has new abilities where he can punch through or go underground to new areas that Sonic never was at or never could get to because he didn't have the add-on. This is basically old school DLC. I need a drink. You didn't have internet back in the day, so you went out and got this for your Genesis. I'm sure there's others like this, but I don't know of any. I only have this so far. And basically, nowadays, if you're on the PS3, you want to download a character for, say, Mortal Kombat 9 or some outfits. This is how you did it back in the old school days. You place this on here. Wow, you got a new game. 1 game, 2 game, 3 game. Alright, and that so far is my cartridges section. Later on I'll be going over disc games that I have, so stay tuned for that. Leave a comment for what games of my list that you would like to see me review. I currently am doing Streets of Rage 2, so when I am done with that, I will review any games that you have suggested. And just before I leave, I want to go over something. I'm sure all of you know that Mario 1 was a classic. And when they released this, it wasn't one Mario game. It was Mario 1, 2, 3, and the Lost Levels. The Lost Levels was the real 2. Because 2 was a ripoff of another game, which name I keep forgetting. God. I'll probably edit it in somehow. Alright. See you next time, YouTubers.